Right now, though, we have another traffic alert. Broadway is closed at Welton Street. RTD is repairing some of the old rail in that area, and it's not going to be a quick fix. This all went into effect yesterday, and it's all part of a larger reconstruction project. The goal is to improve safety, address infrastructure issues, and extend design life. During this closure, crews will have to go beneath the original rails. Those were first installed 30 years ago. They'll have to replace the concrete and old drains, and this will be causing traffic impacts, pedestrian impacts, and also impacts to the light rail service in this area as well. The D&H rail lines will not stop at this intersection. Bus routes will also be impacted. They're going to go around those crews working. Once crews finish the work at Broadway and Welton, they're going to move on to one of those other intersections. Stout at 15th and 17th, and then California between 15th and 17th. Broadway and Welton should be back open in 3 weeks. This phase of the project should last until September. So I want to take you over to our map this morning to kind of talk about the best way to get around this. Of course, Broadway is a main thoroughfare, so that closure right between Welton and California. So you'll be able to travel on 19th, where you see highlighted in green here, over to California. And if you're wondering, hey, California is normally a one-way street, yes, but it is opened up to two-way travel over the next few weeks while we're dealing with this closure.
Erica, thank you. New overnight, police are investigating after an armed carjacking in Aurora last night. Police say this happened around 8:45 outside of the Goodwill on East Colfax in Havana. When officers got there, they found someone who had been struck in the head by a weapon and had his car stolen. They say it was a 2001 Toyota Tundra with Colorado plates AGS K95. No one has been arrested at this time.
A dentist accused of poisoning and killing his wife is trying to throw out crucial evidence involving a recent interview with his mistress. Documents obtained by 9 News Investigates share more details on what prosecutors call the most damning evidence against him. The district attorney's office says Craig is falsely claiming his wife, Angela, asked him to get poisons for her, but they say Craig's mistress told police he talked about a desire to kill his wife months before she died. Court records say officers interviewed the mistress earlier this year. She told them Craig made dark comments about his wife and getting rid of her. He went on to talk about poisons and injection as a potential method. The woman told officers Craig brought it up at least 5 times. His defense team filed a motion to dismiss the mistress's statement, saying that she was coerced. Prosecutors argue this is a desperate attempt to obscure the truth. Craig's next court appearance is tomorrow.
The only officer convicted in the death of Elijah McClain is trying to get out of jail full-time. Randy Redeem is currently serving a 14-month-long work release program in jail that started earlier this year. A court motion filed this past week shows he wants out because he says he's suffering with anxiety, depression, and fears he's going to be physically attacked. The motion says he also can't get effective treatment for his PTSD, which stems from being shot in combat while in Iraq back in 2007. His attorneys now hope a judge will let him serve the remainder of his time through home detention. Prosecutors say because Rodema is appealing his conviction, the court does not have jurisdiction to reconsider his sentence, but a judge could respond to Rodema's request sometime this month.
It is now 6:07 and taking a live look over Denver this morning. The city's dashboard shows 18 migrants arrived yesterday, and that adds to the 550 currently staying in Denver shelters. Today, President Biden is expected to sign a strict executive order on immigration. It would limit the number of asylum seekers who can cross the southern border. The executive order would temporarily shut down asylum seekers if more than 2,500 people cross the border daily. It would reopen when the number falls below 1,500 daily crossings. The Department of Homeland Security says that daily encounters at the border are currently averaging higher than 4,000, which suggests a shutdown could take effect immediately.
Also happening today, opening statements are set to begin in the trial of Hunter Biden. The jury was seated and sworn in yesterday. He's on trial for 3 felonies stemming from a 2018 firearm purchase brought by special counsel David Weiss. Hunter was in the midst of a narcotic addiction at the time. He has pleaded not guilty on all 3 charges.
There is now a $22,000 reward for anyone who can help police find out who is responsible for the deadly mass shooting in Akron, Ohio on Sunday. It happened after midnight during a birthday party. 1 man was killed and dozens were hurt. 2 of them are in critical condition. Police believe the suspect or suspects were shooting out of a car. In response, some partygoers also shot back. Police say about 200 people were at the party when the shooting happened.
In the Middle East, Israel has confirmed the deaths of 4 more hostages in Hamas captivity. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu now says he has not agreed to a permanent ceasefire without the destruction of Hamas. President Biden suggests that Israel has done enough damage to Hamas so that the terror attack of October 7th cannot be repeated. But demands for an agreement grow as the families of the Israeli hostages want a deal reached as soon as possible.
A brand new report from Microsoft finds Russia may be trying to scare people from traveling to the Paris Olympics. The country is banned from competing due to its ongoing war against Ukraine. In return, a Russian anti-Olympic campaign is spreading misinformation and deepfakes, including false rumors that Israeli people attending the Summer Games are in danger.
Today, India is counting more than 640 million votes in the world's largest democratic election. Nearly 1 billion people were eligible to vote. According to the AP, it is widely expected Prime Minister Narendra Modi will win a 3rd term after a decade in power.
A group of World War II veterans are in France getting ready to mark the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings. There will be several events happening there, including parades, school visits, and the official June 6th commemoration. The group will also be matched with high school and college students so that they can learn from the veterans' experiences.
That is fantastic. Meantime, for today, temperatures in the low to mid 80s. It will be a bit breezy out there, and it will be a dry day ahead for us. Winds will be a bit gusty at times, especially for us here in the foothills. That'll be the one thing you probably notice. 40-mile-an-hour gusts for us in the foothills, 20 to 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts for us here in Denver.
All right, Chris, thank you. Right now, as you get ready to head out the door, if you typically take Highway 6 through Clear Creek Canyon, you're not able to at 6:10 this morning. It closed overnight at 7 o'clock. It's expected to reopen by 7 o'clock this morning. Occasionally, we see these closures lift a little bit earlier than normal, but for right now, we'll plan on that 7 o'clock reopening unless we get different word. For now, I-70 is going to be your main thoroughfare that's as far as a detour is concerned in both directions.